Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo 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 Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, I welcome you to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for all session. Today is 25th April 2026. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 8. Lord Krishna shows the universal form within his mouth. So yesterday we saw text 45, seeing the exalted position of Yaśodā Mai. She saw the manifestation of Krishna's Aishvarya Shakti, and she saw the universes within Krishna's body, within his mouth, in his belly. But in spite of all this, how does she see Krishna? She sees Krishna only as her son. The same Krishna who is seen by the followers of Karmakanda as the proprietor of this whole world, this whole universe, who is Yajna Purusha. When you perform yajnas and when he is satisfied, then you can get whatever you want. He's the one who can award you swarga or any material results. The same Krishna who is seen by the Jnana yogis as Brahman, who is beyond this material world, who is beyond Prakriti. That Krishna who is seen by the Sankhya yogis as the controller, as Ishvara. And Krishna who is seen by the yogis, Ashtanga yogis, as the Mahapurusha or as Paramatma. And Krishna who is seen by the devotees as Bhagavan, as their worshipable deity. That same Krishna is seen by Yaśodā Mai as her son, nothing else, who needs her protection. So what is the type of worship? I think we read in the purport yesterday. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that what is, or I think Śukadeva Gosvāmī says, what is the best type of worship? The worship done by the Vrajavadhu Varga. That means all the gopis of Vraja. That is the best type of worship. So Yaśodā Mai also. So what is the worship? She's, as soon as Krishna withdrew that Aishwarya Shakti and he expanded his Putra Sneha Maya, what happened? That was the natural position of Yaśodā Mai. Immediately she picked up Krishna. Oh, my son, he must be so hungry. I didn't feed him in a long time. And then immediately she offered her breast milk to Krishna. This is her vision of, that's how she can see Krishna. In spite of Aishwarya Shakti or anything, it doesn't matter. She sees Krishna only as her son. So that's the verse we read yesterday, but we didn't see Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary yesterday. We can do that now. One second. So many windows open. I'll just close them. Lot of windows are open. 1 second. Okay. Share. Uh, 45. It's 46. Okay, 45. I'm just reading 45. The verse is Trayyachopanishad Trayyachopanishadbhischa Sankhya Yogaischa Satvataihi Upagiyamana Mahatmyam Harim Samanyatatmajam. So for that, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is explaining. In this verse, Vyasadeva shows how Yasoda's maternal love was superior to that of Devaki. How? How is Yasoda Mai's love greater to Devaki's? Devaki Mai is affected by the Aishwarya Shakti. When Krishna shows his Aishwarya Shakti, or when the residents of Dwarka, when they come in touch with the Aishwarya Shakti of Krishna, their love is affected. It's affected. That's why. So here, but that means they see Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is that respect, that awe and reverence. The other day we discussed about Arjun and Kunti Maharani, how when they come in touch with the Aishwarya Shakti, we see that when they come in contact with the Aishwarya Shakti, their love is affected. Arjun was thinking that his dealings with Krishna, his loving dealings with Krishna were actually offenses. Kunti Maharani began to offer obeisances to her nephew, who normally would come and offer obeisances to her, and she would give blessings like an elder member, like like an aunt, like a mother. She would give blessings. But now she's offering obeisances to Krishna. That means when the Dwarka Vasis come in touch with the Aishwarya of Krishna, then it's not permanent, but for some time they're affected. They're affected by that. Permanently, their relationship will be there. Remember, about Arjun also it is said that after, so this 11th chapter is part of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita was spoken before the battle started. So during the Bhagavad Gita, in the 11th chapter, when Arjun got darshan of Vishwarupa, then he's like offering obeisances to Krishna from front, from here, from there, from everywhere, right? And then he's begging for forgiveness. Please forgive me. You are the Supreme Lord. Parabrahma, Paramdhavam, Paramdhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. He's offering obeisances. But what is their relationship? Normally, friendship. So, was he always now offering obeisances? No. When the battle started once again, Arjun is the warrior, Krishna is the chariot driver. That's, so Krishna loves that. But when they come in touch with this Aishwarya Shakti for some time, that Aishwarya Shakti limits or, shrinks their flow of love, because that awe and reverence comes in the way. Same with Devaki Mai. So in this verse, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that in this verse, in this verse, Vyasadeva shows how Yasoda's maternal love was superior to that of Devaki. Why? In spite of seeing, it was much more powerful. The vision, the darshan that Yasoda, my God, was much, much, much more powerful than the Vishwarupa that was shown to Arjun. That was just one universe. But Yasoda Mai was shown all the universes. That's why when she was getting that darshan, it was like a, avriti, one after another. Things were coming in front of her. That means one universe after another she was seeing. But in spite of seeing all that, the maximum that happened to her was she took shelter of Lord Narayan. You are the protector, like that. And Jnana, she got that for a few seconds. She felt under the influence of my Lord Narayan's illusory potency, I'm thinking I'm Yasoda and Krishna's my son. For a few seconds, she had that. That's all. So this is the power. This is the exalted nature of Yasoda Mai's love, Vatsalya Prema. That's what this verse is showing. That how everyone else, all other transcendentalists, how they are seeing Krishna. But Yasoda Mai sees him only as her son. In spite of seeing all the opulences, and even if she hears, yes, they talk like this. She heard from Garga Muni that he has qualities like Lord, only Narayan has qualities like your son. But no matter what they say, the Vrajvasis only accept Krishna. They don't take those seriously. They take Krishna only as, as their, they just love Krishna as the son of Nanda Mahārāja. He's the son of Yasoda Mai. Very enchanting, like that. And they love him more than anything else. Even their own lives, they just love Krishna. So here we are seeing Yasoda Mai's love. In this verse, Vasudeva shows how Yasoda's maternal love was superior to that of Devaki. Yasoda's love remained unrestricted in spite of seeing Krishna's powers and hearing about the Lord's powers from the scriptures, such as the three Vedas, which glorify Krishna as the Yajna Purusha, Lord Vishnu, the personal beneficiary of all sacrifices. That means she saw the universal form, but also in Shastras it is said, Krishna is the Yajna Purusha. But in spite of all that, She will only see Krishna. It's not that, those things don't stay. Even if they hear, they don't. The only thing that stays in the heart is Krishna is my son. Sthai bhava. Sthai bhava means this is the permanent bhava. What are those sthai bhavas? There are 5. Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. Sthai bhava. And then on top of this, you have others that come and go. Anubhava, Vibhava, Sanchari bhava, like that. They come and go. But sthai bhava is always there. So this Vatsalya Prema that Yaśoda Mai has, it's never affected in any way, no matter what she sees or what she hears. Her love is never restricted. Her love, her parental affection, her Vatsalya Prema is never affected. So even after hearing from scriptures, that's the point. So in spite of seeing Krishna's powers, she saw in his mouth the universes, and hearing about the Lord's powers from the scriptures, such as the 3 Vedas, which glorify Krishna as the Yajna Purusha, the personal beneficiary of all sacrifices, still her love is unrestricted. Krishna is glorified as the Purusha, Supreme Lord, in Sankhya Shastras, the Paramatma in the Yoga Sutras, and as Bhagavan in the Pancharatra writings, Satvata. So in scriptures it is there. So in Karma Kanda, Krishna is described as the Yajna Purusha. In Sankhya Shastras, he is described as the controller. In Pancharatra, he is described as Bhagavan. In Yoga Sutras, he is described as Paramatma, the Supreme Person. In Upanishads, he is described as Brahman. So even after hearing all this, no effect on Yaśoda Mai. She will see Krishna only as her son. Without regard for time or place, Mother Yaśoda considered the all-powerful Lord, who is glorified directly and indirectly in the scriptures, as an ordinary child. Yaśoda considered the all-powerful Lord as an ordinary child. Who? The all-powerful Lord who is glorified directly and indirectly in the scriptures. Directly means as the Supreme Lord. And indirectly means as, as Paramatma, as Brahman, like that. But she sees Krishna only as her child. Yaśoda thought, by the mercy of our powerful family deity Lord Narayan, who has been satisfied with the austerities and worship executed by Nanda and me. Narayan being satisfied with the austerities and worship done by my husband and me, and who has been satisfied with the many austerities of Parjanya. Parjanya is the father of Nanda Mahārāja. So the Lord Narayan, being satisfied by the austerities done by Nanda Mahārāja, austerities done by Yaśoda Mai, and then Nanda Mahārāja's father Parjanya, being satisfied by that, I have been given this son, who the karmis glorify as the absolute truth propounded in the scriptures. So I got this son Krishna from Lord Narayan. I got Krishna from Lord Narayan, who is satisfied by my worship, by my austerities. Not just mine, by my husband's and my father-in-law's. Because of that, I got this son, who is glorified by karmis as the absolute truth propounded in the scriptures. People accept this because of Gargamuni's state. And also, that means, you see, the point is she's hearing this. It's not that she doesn't hear. She hears people saying that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He is the Yajna Purusha. Why? Because the Shastras are saying this. And she's thinking, people worship my son as the Yajna Purusha. Why? Because it is said like that in Shastras. That is the thing. Once again, you hear, I mean, in our case, in this conditioned state, a conditioned soul, when a conditioned soul comes to this, what do you say? I mean, when the, not comes, sorry. When a conditioned soul sees, comes in contact with Shastra and hears statements of Shastra, he will hear. He can understand also. If you know the language, if somebody tells you, you'll understand, yes? But it won't stay in your heart. You won't accept it. You hear so many things. You hear from this ear and it goes out from the other ear, isn't it? But some things, you actually take it to your heart, take it very seriously. So in our case, for us to accept the statements of Shastra, we need mercy from a pure devotee. Whatever type of mercy we get, to that extent, we will accept the statements of Shastra. For example, Bhagavad Gita is read by Karmis, Bhagavad Gita is read by Jnanis, Bhagavad Gita is read by the yogis, and Bhagavad Gita is read by the devotees. But how is each one understanding Bhagavad Gita? Is everyone coming to the conclusion that we should simply surrender to Krishna? Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Thinking like that, everyone surrenders after reading Bhagavad Gita. Everybody surrenders to Krishna directly. No. The Mayavadis, when they read Bhagavad Gita, they think that Vidya Pratibimbita Chaitanyam, material body. This is Brahman covered by the body made of Sattva-guna. That's all. And whatever verses are said in Bhagavad Gita, they will understand it in that way, which is in line with that philosophy. So even after reading Shastra, you won't accept the statements. This is our case. Those who are covered by Mahamaya. But when we get that Yoga Maya in the form of bhakti, how? In the form of mercy from a pure devotee, then because of that mercy, now we are able to accept, we are able to believe whatever is said in Shastra, isn't it? So Yaśodā Mai's case is another case. She is already in the highest love. So anything below that, whatever she hears, even if she hears from Shastra, it doesn't stay. It doesn't stay in her. So she hears that Krishna is Paramatma, Krishna is Bhagavan, and Krishna is Yagya Purusha and everything. And from Shastras she's hearing, and she's seeing all these people offering obeisances to Krishna as the Supreme Lord because it is said in Shastra. But she's not able to see Krishna like that. And she's seeing them and she's thinking, Krishna is given to me by the Lord, by Lord Narayan, who is our family deity. Being pleased by our worship, Lord Narayan has blessed us with my son, who is worshipped by these people as the Supreme or as the Yagya Purusha, because it is said like that in the scriptures. But she won't accept it like that. She will see him only as her son. This is the fun. So, yes. By the mercy of our powerful family deity Lord Narayan, who has been satisfied with the austerities and worship executed by Nanda and me, and who has been satisfied with the many austerities of Parjanya, I have been given this son, who the Karmis glorify as the absolute truth, propounded in the scriptures. Not only that, people accept this because of Garga Muni's statement that Krishna is equal in quality to Narayan, and because of the stories of Krishna's killing gigantic demons like Putana and others. This is all Yaśodā Mai thinking. What is now her reasoning? See, why do people think my son is the Supreme Lord? One reason is because the scriptures are saying. Scriptures are saying. The other reason is because Garga Muni said that my son has, only Narayan has qualities like my son. So because Garga Muni said, and also because of all, Krishna's wonderful activities, that he killed Putana, he killed Shakatasur, he killed Trinavarta, right? But based on all these things, is she also accepting maybe he is actually the Supreme? No, no. She's thinking, they think like that. Because of all these reasons, they are thinking. So, people accept this because of Gargamuni's statement that Krishna is equal in quality to Narayan, and because of the stories of Krishna's killing gigantic demons like Putana and others. Therefore, everyone believes my son is Narayan. They think my son is Narayan. But actually, he is just my child. The reality is he's just my child. It just doesn't, what to speak of staying, it just doesn't occur to her that maybe he could be the Supreme Lord. No. No. They are thinking like this. Everyone's thinking there was, but he is just my child. That's all. Why? Because of her love, her extreme love. So in front of her love, Aishwarya cannot stand like that. But actually, he's just my child. If he does, why she's thinking? If he does not see me for a moment, he becomes very disturbed. I also become disturbed when separated a moment from him. Our experience is our proof. In this way, Mother Yasoda thought about Krishna. So what is the proof that Krishna is not Narayan for Yasoda Mai? The proof is that if he doesn't see me for some time, like ordinary children, babies, small children, toddlers, babies, infants or toddlers, let's say, if they don't see the mother for some time, they start crying, isn't it? So like that, if he doesn't see me for some time, he starts crying. And when I don't see him, I also become, I cannot bear that separation. I become disturbed. Where's my son? Where's my son? If he is the Supreme Lord, why should I be afraid? Think, right? Who can do any harm to the Supreme Lord? Why should she be disturbed? He's the Supreme Lord. You know, he'll go wherever he wants to go and then he'll just come back safely. Why does she have to worry? But she says, I'm worried if I don't see him for some time. And then he's also worried. Why should he be? If he's the Supreme Lord Narayan, why should he cry? Because he's omniscient. He can see everywhere. So he can understand, oh, my mother is there at this time. She'll be back. But he starts worrying. He starts crying. And I become disturbed when I don't see him. So our experience, that means Krishna and my experience, is the proof that he's not the Supreme Lord. This is Yasoda Mai's calculation. Our experience is our proof. In this way, Mother Yasoda thought about Krishna. Then, as the fruitive workers think of the Lord as the Yajna Purusha according to the Vedas, similarly, Yasoda thought of the Lord as her son due to her Vatsalya Prema. So why the Karmakandis, following those who follow Karmakanda, why they accept Krishna as the Lord of the sacrifice? Because it is said in Shastra. So for them, what is the authority? Shastra. And for Yasoda Mai, what is the authority that Krishna is just my son? Her experience, which is nothing but her love, her Vatsalya Prema. So the proof or the authority for Yasoda Mai to consider Krishna as her son is her experience. And what is her experience? It's her Vatsalya Prema. So the way the fruitive workers think of the Lord as Yajna Purusha, Yasoda Mai thought of the Lord as her son due to her Vatsalya Prema. Just as Krishna gives results to the karmis who worship him, he reciprocated with Yashoda's maternal affection. That means Krishna also reciprocated only as her son. The way when karmis worship, he gives them the material results. And when ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyaham, as one approaches me, I reward him accordingly. And Yasoda Mai, how is she approaching? She's seeing Krishna only as her son. So Krishna also appears to her only as her son, completely dependent on her. He's reciprocating with her love. He reciprocated with Yashoda's maternal affection. But Krishna could not respond fully to the amount of affection offered by Yasoda. This is problem. Krishna says this to the gopis, that he cannot repay. See, the thing is, this is said in the context of the gopis. The gopis left everything. When Krishna played his flute at night, the gopis left everything. That means they took all risks. They just left home. They didn't consider what will happen after meeting Krishna, then where will they go? If their family members, their husbands didn't take them back in the house, what will happen to them? And they were going out in the dead of the night, in the dark jungles. The jungles were so thick. It was completely pitch dark. But they were just going after hearing that flute song of Krishna. And then Krishna disappeared after that. After he gave darshan for some time, then he just disappeared. And all of them just sat on the banks of the Yamuna and they were just singing, calling out to Krishna. Krishna was there, but because it was dark, nobody could see him. The gopis couldn't see him. He was camouflaged because he's also dark. And it was, in the night. So they couldn't see him. But he was listening to their prayers, to their songs. But later on, after he appeared in front of them, at that time, Krishna says, that he can never repay their love. It's not within his capacity, because Krishna says, Ye yathamam prapadyante tams tataiva bhajamyaham. As one approaches me, I reward him accordingly. He can do this with everyone, but he cannot do this with gopis, because what they did, he cannot do. He doesn't have that opportunity. He cannot give up everything and just surrender to the gopis. He cannot do that. Did he give up his father and mother and brother, his home? They left everything for the gopis. Did he leave? No, he kept. He had his father, mother and everything. That's why he said, I cannot do what you did. I cannot repay. Like that. In that sense here also, it is said that the way Krishna is reciprocating with the karma kandis and with the the Jnana yogis and Sankhya yogis, Ashtanga yogis, he cannot reciprocate in the same way with the Brajvasis, here with Yaśodā Mai. Because Yaśodā Mai's love, he cannot exactly, reciprocate in the same proportion. He doesn't have it in him to give that, to return it. So here it is said that he reciprocated with Yaśoda's maternal affection. The way he reciprocated with the karmis, he also reciprocated with Yaśoda's motherly affection, but Krishna could not respond fully to the amount of affection offered by Yaśoda. So then he just remains a debtor. Right? He got more than what he could give. So he always remains in debt. Remaining a debtor, Krishna was content to be dependent on Yaśoda's mercy and control and cry for her milk. He's satisfied. He's satisfied with that. I'll read that again. Remaining a debtor, why? Because the amount of love that she is giving him, he cannot repay that. So he's in debt now. He's in debt. So that means he's subordinate now, isn't it? If you are in debt, you're subordinate. So he's content with that. Because he cannot repay, he's a debtor. So he's content to be dependent on Yaśoda's mercy and control. Right? Now he, as a subordinate, he's content with that. Being under her control, being at her mercy. If she feeds him, he will eat. Otherwise, he'll remain hungry. He'll go hungry like that. And then he's crying for her milk. This will become clear in later chapters. One should take this verse as a Paribhasa Sutra of Krishna Lila. We know in Srimad Bhagavatam, Ete Chamsa Kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, that is the Paribhasa Sutram for the entire Srimad Bhagavatam. It is the Paribhasha Sutram for entire Srimad Bhagavatam. It is establishing that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, and Srimad Bhagavatam is the crest jewel. It is the ripened fruit of all the Vedas. That means this statement is the Paribhasha Sutram for all the Vedas, for the entire scriptures. That means wherever there is a statement contradictory to Paribhasha Sutram, anywhere, in any scripture, in any Vedas, Puranas, Upanishads, wherever, in Srimad Bhagavatam also, if you ever, and you will come across such statements, if you ever came across such statements which mean that Krishna is an incarnation of Vishnu, that Krishna is not the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what should you do there? Paribhasha Sutram will take precedence. And you have to, for that particular verse, you have to take some gauna artha, secondary meaning, some other meaning you have to take. You cannot take the meaning as it is. This is the power of Paribhasha Sutram. So, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, that is Paribhasha Sutram for entire Srimad Bhagavatam. And there's a lot of discussion there. I think we did it some time ago. What is Paribhasha Sutram? Right? There, it comes in a particular place in the book, in the very beginning, and in the declaration chapter, like that. But here, what are we seeing? Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, one should take this verse as a Paribhasha Sutram of Krishna Lila. Within Krishna Lila, this is the Paribhasha Sutram. Which one? This 45th verse. That means Krishna, it is said in Shastras, you know, he is the supreme, what do you say? He is the Yagya Purusha, and he is Paramatma, and he is Brahman. He is the controller, everything. But for Yaśodā Mai, he is only Krishna. That means wherever you see that, even if there are any statements that may appear like, you know, Yaśodā Mai, you know, to Yaśodā Mai, Krishna is appearing like the Supreme Lord or something, what should you take? That Yaśodā Mai is only seeing Krishna as her son. That's all, nothing else. Okay. One should take this verse as a Paribhasha Sutra of Krishna Lila. As a lamp sits in one place in a dark room and lights up the whole room, so that statement in the scriptures which can reveal the meaning of all scriptures or regulate the meaning, especially this point, regulate the meaning. The meaning of Paribhasha Sutram is Aniyame Niyamakarini. Aniyame Niyamakarini. That means wherever there is no niyama, wherever there is no regulation, Paribhasha Sutram brings regulation there. So if there is any statement which is going away from the philosophy, then Paribhasha Sutram will regulate it. It will say, no, this is the meaning here, like that. Aniyame Niyamakarini. So, like a lamp, it's in one place but of the room, but it is lighting the whole room. So that statement in the scriptures which can reveal the meaning of all scriptures or regulate the meaning of the scriptures is called a Paribhasha Sutra. This verse stands as a regulator for all of the pastimes related to Aishvarya, displays of power and opulence shown during Krishna's Kaumara and Kaishora, childhood and youthful ages in Mathura, Kurukshetra, elsewhere. Mathura, Kurukshetra, elsewhere. Kaishora also. Kaishora means young. Exhibition of Aishvarya. What is his position in relation to the Vrajvasis, or his Swarupa? What is Krishna's actual Swarupa? Krishna's actual Swarupa is Yaśodā Nandan. That is the original personality of Krishna. He is Yaśodā Nandan. He is the fountainhead. All other Aishwarya forms, that's not they are the expansions of the original Swayam Bhagavan. Who is Swayam Bhagavan? Yaśodā Nandan Krishna. His identity, he's simply the son of Yaśodā. The absolute truth, the last name of the absolute truth, the ultimate name of the absolute truth is what? The Swarupa of the absolute truth. He is Yaśodā Nandan. Like that. That is the Paribhasha Sutra for Krishna. śrī-rājovāca nandaḥ kim akarod brahman śreya evaṁ mahodayam yasyōdā ca mahā-bhāgā papau yasyāḥ stanaṁ hariḥ. So Rājovāca means Parīkṣit Mahārāja. So what is happening here? Parīkṣit Mahārāja heard all these childhood pastimes of Krishna. He heard. We are in the 8th chapter now. So by hearing all these pastimes, his heart is now filled with joy, with ecstasy. And he's asking a question. He's asking a question. You see, in this context, His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj says, this is the end of 8th chapter. In the beginning of 7th chapter, Parīkṣit Mahārāja asked questions, if you remember, Shakatasur, before the Shakatasur's Leela, killing of Shakatasur. There Parīkṣit Mahārāja asked some questions. Please tell me childhood pastimes of Krishna, like that. And now again, he's asking, at the end of 8th chapter, he's asking questions. That means whatever needs to be clarified, or whatever additional points need to be described, he's bringing those in through his inquiries. Whether Parīkṣit Mahārāja, or you take in Bhagavad Gita, conversation between Krishna and Arjun. Arjun is asking questions. So whatever questions, this is how Maharaj says, whatever questions need to be asked, he's asking. And Krishna is clarifying those, he's answering. And throughout Srimad Bhagavatam, we see conversation between Sutta Gosvāmī and Shaunaka Rishis. Parīkṣit Mahārāja is asking Śukadeva Gosvāmī. Vidurji is asking Maitreya Muni. And then later on we will see Yudhishthir Maharaj is asking Narad Muni. Then again Uddhava is asking Krishna. Then again King Nimi is asking the Navayogendras. So question and answers are happening. So they ask the questions. Whatever needs to be clarified, it is there. Maharaj is saying there's no need to ask so many questions after each verse. Imagine if after every verse Parīkṣit Mahārāja were to ask, like after Bhagavatam classes, we ask questions, right? Even if there are 4 or 5 questions after each verse, then how long will this whole katha go on? So he's saying, we don't have to feel that, oh, we have to ask questions. Anyway, of course, but if something is not clear, because the speaker also may not be, may not be able to convey the meaning properly. So for clarification, we should ask, no problem. But Parīkṣit Mahārāja is asking question. That's the point here. Parīkṣit Mahārāja is asking a question. What is the question? Now he's in ecstasy after hearing all these pastimes and then seeing the love of Yaśodā Mai and Nanda Mahārāja. So what is this verse saying? Let's look at this verse now one more time. Oh, what did I do? Okay. Nandaḥ kim akarod brahman śreya evaṁ mahodayam. Nandaḥ Nanda Maharaj, kim akarod? What did he do? Brahman. Oh, all-knowing person, right? Śukadeva Gosvāmī. Parīkṣit Mahārāja is asking, what did Nanda Maharaj do, O Śukadeva Gosvāmī? Śreya. So here śreya का मतलब है पुण्य और तपस्या और some sadhana. What did he do? What did he do means what type of pious activity did he do? Or what type of austerities and penances did he perform? Evaṁ, in this way, mahodayam. Mahodayam means, what is this mahodayam? This great perfection or this great fortune, what is that? In spite of seeing Krishna's Aishvarya, his opulence, the previous verse is explaining. It is said in Shastras, people are worshipping him, they are coming and offering obeisances to him. Different people are seeing Krishna. Someone is seeing him as Brahman, someone is seeing him as Bhagavan, someone as Paramatma. And this is said in the Shastra. In spite of all this, coming in contact with Krishna's Aishwarya time and again, seeing that how such a small baby is killing big demons, they got killed actually, but around baby, right? He's just a small baby, but how all these things are happening? He heard from Garga Muni that he has, he appears in different colors in each yuga, and only Lord Narayan has qualities like your son, nobody else. In spite of hearing and coming in, personally seeing, experiencing the Aishvarya Shakti of Krishna, his Vatsalya Prema, his love as a parent is not shaken even a little bit. It is not disturbed even a little bit. He has maintained his love, Vatsalya Prema for Krishna. Akhanda, matlab it's not broken, unbreakable. Vatsalya Prema, he has. How does he have this? What has he done to get this type of love for Krishna? This is Parīkṣit Mahārāja's question. How did he get this? What did he do? What type of tapasya? What type of sadhana? What type of punya? What did he do to get this? That's about Nanda Mahārāja. Then Yaśodā Mai. Yaśodā cha mahā-bhāgā. Mahā-bhāgā means, and also Yaśodā Mai, who has this greatest fortune. Mahā-bhāgā. What is that fortune? Papau yasyāḥ stanaṁ hariḥ. Hariḥ, papau means he drank or he is drinking. Yasyāḥ, whose stanaṁ, breast milk. Hariḥ is drinking whose breast milk. This is the greatest fortune. How Yaśodā Mai got this? What did she do? Same thing. The śreya is applicable to Nanda Mahārāja and Yaśodā Mai. What did Nanda Mahārāja do? What did Yaśodā Mai do to get this great fortune? What is that fortune? That in spite of, in Yaśodā Mai's case, it is said that the Supreme Lord is drinking her breast milk. And what? Not just drinking, he's crying for it. She controls him, she chastises him, she ties him up. What did she do to get this great fortune? That is Parīkṣit Mahārāja's question. Let me see if there's anything. One point here, you may wonder that does Yaśodā Mai have to do something, or did she actually do something to get that position? Did Nanda Mahārāja also do something to be in that position? There are Nitya Siddha devotees. This is Krishna's Nitya Leela. Eternal pastimes. It is not that Nanda Mahārāja did something, did some kind of sadhana, therefore he got this position. Nor is it that Yaśodā Mai did something, some kind of sadhana, like we do sadhana. Like that, she did some kind of sadhana, because of which now she got this perfection and Krishna is drinking her breast milk because of that. Is it like that? It's not like that. Nitya Leela means it is eternal. It's not that they did something and then they got that. No. Then why Parīkṣit Mahārāja is asking this question? You may get, doesn't Parīkṣit Mahārāja know that this is Nitya Leela? Of course he knows it's Nitya Leela. Then still why he's asking? The thing is, when Katha is going on, Bhagavad Katha is going on, Śukadeva Gosvāmī is speaking and so many people are sitting and hearing, public is hearing. To inspire the listeners to take to that sadhana. Actually, in case of Nitya Leela, there is no question of doing sadhana and thereby achieving something. It's not like that. It is always there, eternally there. That's why they are Nitya Siddha devotees. It's not like by doing something they got that position. Still, people who are here, we have to do sadhana, isn't it? We have to do sadhana. When we hear these pastimes, what kind of feeling do we get? When you hear these pastimes, do you get a desire? Wow, can I also at some point like be part of that Leela, like be there when this is happening? Or maybe like, can I also relish that Vatsalya Prema for Krishna, Devi Krishna? Can I also get that type of, affection for Krishna, that type of love for Krishna, where I can witness these pastimes? Actually, we are supposed to get, Maharaj says, that's actually the perfection. When you actually, of course, not artificially, we cannot just like force it, but when you are actually really absorbed in hearing the pastimes, then such questions, such desires will arise, should arise. You'll be so attracted to that, and you would want, you will get that desire that, can I also be there? Of course, it's not that you will become, nobody can ever become Yaśodā Mai, nobody can become Nanda Mahārāja, that is not possible. But just that desire can come. So then what do we have to do? Those who are here, we have to do sadhana. So to inspire the listeners to take to sadhana, always sadhana is hinted. That is why Parīkṣit Mahārāja is asking. It's not that Yaśodā Mai did something, she did some sadhana, so by doing this sadhana she got that, therefore I will also do this sadhana and I will also become Yaśodā Mai. That's not the idea. But I think you get the point. The listeners will get a desire by hearing this. They'll get attracted to these pastimes and they wonder, can I also be there? Can I also, be part of this Leela? Then what do I need to do to get there? What is the sadhana? So to encourage the people to do sadhana, such question is asked. Okay. And then Maharaj also quotes again one pastime. The gopis, they feel jealous of the flute. In Venugita, we hear this. I'm forgetting. It's been a while. I mean, it's been some months that I heard this pastime. But I'm just trying to recollect if they were actually... Anyway, but they were feeling jealous that it's just, it's so fortunate. Krishna is always holding the flute to his lips. And this flute, even though it is just, like a piece of wood, it is drinking the nectar of Krishna's lips. Actually, Krishna belongs to our community. We are Gopas, Gopis and Gopas. And the flute is some other community, bamboo community. He is not, hamare biradari ka nahi hai wo. Right? He doesn't belong to our community. So, Krishna's, whatever he has, that, it should be in our community. It's our property. Krishna's, the nectar from his lips is our property. But ye bahar wala aake sab pee ke chale ja raha hai. He's drinking and he's always staying there actually. So like that. So they feel. So they talk amongst themselves. So they're feeling jealous. So Maharaj is explaining that Krishna is responding to, because the bamboo cannot speak. But just see the exalted love of the gopis. This is the sign of a mahā-bhāgā devotee, a mahā-bhāgā, first class devotee. Whatever he sees, or she, wherever, whatever he sees, he only sees his worshipable deity everywhere. First point, there are two things. Bhagavad Bhavam. Bhagavad Bhavam means just like a Brahman realized soul. A Brahmagyani, what does he see? Wherever he sees a chair. Does he see a chair? No. Because he does not. Nirbheda Jnanam means he won't see the qualities of chair. He doesn't see the qualities of a laptop. He doesn't see the quality of sky. No quality of light, nothing. When he stops seeing the qualities of individual objects, then everything looks like one. There's no difference between two objects. It's all oneness. That's the vision of a Brahmagyani. Like somebody who has realized Brahman. He just sees Brahman everywhere. He doesn't see anything. Same thing in the Bhakta's side. A Premi Bhakta, first class Bhakta, you know what he sees? Wherever he sees, whatever he sees in every ad, he's simply seeing his Ishta form, Bhagavan. So if you're a Krishna devotee, you'll just see Radha Sharat Bihari. Wherever you see, whatever, you don't see a chair, you don't see the door, nothing. All you will see is, it's just your worshipable deity you will see everywhere. That's one. In case of Premi Bhaktas. What is the second quality? And whatever love he has for the Lord, he sees that everyone else has that love for Lord. He doesn't see that he has love. He won't see that he has love for Krishna. He thinks, I have no love. I have no love. But he sees everyone else has love for Krishna. He actually sees, everybody. Not just human beings, not just living beings, even animate, inanimate, everything. If he sees a pillar in the temple, he's thinking, this pillar is so fortunate. He's standing here and taking darshan of the Lord all day. He's holding up, he's doing so much service for the Lord, like that. So the gopis' vision was like that. When they see the flute, they see the flute as serving Krishna so nicely, drinking the nectar from Krishna's lips. They see the water, Yamuna water flowing, and they see some whirlpools. They think, look at this. So, this Yamuna has become so greedy. Krishna, kept his foot here. So now they don't want to flow. The water doesn't want to flow. They're just going round and round, in whirlpool because of Krishna's lotus feet. They don't want to go. Like that. Cows, calves, everybody. That's their vision. That Venugita, when we hear that, it is the gopis' vision of the effect of this song of flute. Now, what is that flute song? That is Krishna's adharamritam, right? The nectar coming from his mouth that went through the flute, and now that is going into the ears of all different types of living beings, inanimate objects, everybody. And what is the effect that this Venugita, that means that nectar of Krishna that went into the bamboo and it could not be contained there and it came outside, and what is the effect it is having on all the various personalities and objects. That is Venugita. So in that, Maharaj is explaining that when the gopis were feeling jealous that this flute is always drinking the nectar of Krishna's lips, Krishna is reciprocating through the song, because the flute cannot speak for itself, because it is, after all, jada. It is not Chetana Padartha. It is not conscious. It cannot speak. So through the flute song, Krishna is answering the gopis when they are feeling jealous. What is the flute saying, in that song? So this is, the gopis' love is so exalted through that song. They are hearing the flute answering them. So the flute is saying, and it is Krishna actually reciprocating with them. So the flute is saying to them through that song, what they're hearing is, the flute is saying, I have, from my very birth, as soon as I took birth, I left my community. So this is how bamboos are, as soon as the bamboo is born, it is separated from its family of other bamboos. It's moved away. So I am a sannyasini from birth. That means, what all I did, now I'm getting to drink Krishna's adharamritam, the nectar from Krishna's lips. But to get to this stage, what all I did? From my very birth, I've been a sannyasi or sannyasini, whatever. Maharaj says sannyasini. But that means I left home, family, everything from my very birth. And not only that, after that, I'm made to stand in severe cold and in severe heat, just stand there. Not that when it is too hot, I'll go and sit in the AC room, or when it is too, cold, then I sit in a heat, near a heater. No, I'm just there tolerating. How much tapasya I did. And after that, I am cut at the very root, right? I'm just cut at the root. And then all my stems and leaves are all cut off. And then I'm made to dry in the hot sun. And after I'm dried up with hot iron rods, holes are made in my chest. 7 holes are made. I tolerated all this. I went through such severe tapasya. And after all this, now I got to taste Krishna's adharamritam. What austerities are you doing? You are still, with your husbands and your mother-in-law, and you're concerned what they will think, what will happen. You also do whatever I did. Just leave home, leave your family, leave everybody, and just come and go through all the, pains that I went through. And then you also taste Krishna's lips. Who's stopping you? Like this, the flute is saying. So the idea of mentioning this here by Maharaj is that to give a hint of sadhana to the listeners. This is also Nitya Leela. So it is not that by doing this type of sadhana, you'll get this result. It's not that. Or it's not that those who are in the Nitya Leela, because of doing this sadhana, they achieved it. It's not like that. However, for us, to give us the hint of sadhana, such statements are said and such inquiries are made. So therefore, here Parīkṣit Mahārāja is asking, what type of sadhana did Yaśodā Mai do? What type of sadhana did Nanda Mahārāja do? Like that. Okay. We'll also read the next verse because they go together. Okay, let me just read this translation. Having heard of the great fortune of Mother Yaśodā, Parīkṣit Mahārāja inquired from Śukadeva Gosvāmī. Having heard of the great fortune of Mother Yaśodā. What is that? That Krishna is drinking her breast milk. Huh? Who is Krishna? The Supreme Lord. So, and also how her love is not affected in the least after seeing his Aishwarya. So having heard of the great fortune of Mother Yaśodā, Parīkṣit Mahārāja inquired from Śukadeva Gosvāmī, O learned brahmana, Mother Yaśoda's breast milk was sucked by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What past auspicious activities did she and Nanda Mahārāja perform to achieve such perfection and ecstatic love? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 7:16, Chaturvidha bhajante mam janah sukriti norjuna. Without sukriti or pious activities, no one can come to the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Chaturvidha bhajante mam. Without sukriti or pious activities, no one can come to the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is approached by 4 kinds of pious men, Artho, Jigyasur, Artharthi, Jnanicha. But here we see that Nanda Mahārāja and Yaśodā surpassed all of them. Yes. Therefore, Parīkṣit Mahārāja naturally inquired, what kind of pious activities did they perform in their past lives by which they achieved such a stage of perfection? Of course, Nanda Mahārāja and Yaśodā are accepted as the father and mother of Krishna. Yet, Mother Yaśodā was most fortunate than Nanda Mahārāja, Krishna's father, because Nanda Mahārāja was sometimes separated from Krishna, whereas Yaśodā, Krishna's mother, was not separated from Krishna at any moment. When he's a baby, isn't it? When he became a little older, then he would go during the day. But at this time, he's still baby. He's with Mother Yaśodā all the time. From Krishna's babyhood to his childhood and from his childhood to his youth, Mother Yaśodā was always in association with Krishna. Even when Krishna was grown up, he would go to Vrindavan and sit on the lap of Mother Yaśodā. Therefore, there is no comparison to the fortune of Mother Yaśodā, and Parīkṣit Mahārāja naturally inquired, Yaśodāca mahā-bhāgā. So why Yaśodā Mai is so fortunate is being explained. Just one point here. So why Parīkṣit Mahārāja is asking that question, I explained already. It's not that. And also another point is, do you get Krishna Prema by doing pious activities? That's the discussion also in Chaitanya Charitamrita currently. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected that by doing some type of karma. Karma is pious and impious. 2 types of karmas are there. Pious karma will give you happiness, material happiness. Impious karma will give you material distress. But even if you did pious karma, you cannot get prema. Krishna prema you cannot get. So, it is not that by doing this sukriti, pious activities, and by the way, that is also from Srila Prabhupada's purport only, from Chaitanya Charitamrita. What I said just now, we read in the Chaitanya Charitamrita class, yesterday's class. So, you cannot get Krishna Prema, you cannot get by pious activities. But coming to the shelter of Supreme Lord also, Chaturvidha bhajante mam. Who are these people? These are Sukritina. Sukritina means Varnashrama society. Sukritina. This is explained by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in commentary to that 716 Chaturvida Bhajante Mam Bhagavad Gita shloka. There it is explained. What is Sukritina? These four types of people, they are in a Varnashrama society. So in a Varnashrama society, that is the arrangement. Worship of Lord Vishnu is the center. Whatever you earn, everything you go and offer it to Lord Vishnu, and you do your particular dharmas, and with your dharma, you're worshipping the Lord. This is a Varnashrama society. So in Varnashrama society, people are pious, and they will go and they worship Lord Vishnu. They offer their karma to Lord Vishnu in a Varnashrama society. But simply by doing your Varnashrama dharma, will you get Krishna Prema? You won't get. What can you get at best? You can get mukti. Salokya mukti, sarupya mukti, like that. You can go to Vaikuntha and get mukti. But will you get a love for Krishna? You'll get service? No. When will you get service and love? Only when you get the association of a devotee, a pure devotee. Then only the seed will be given to you. And then you will start your path. Your account will be opened only when you get the mercy. Simply by doing pious activities, you won't get. But here it is said, when someone comes to the shelter of what is Srila Prabhupada saying? Without Sukriti or pious activities, no one can come to the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yes. So if you are in a Varnashrama society, the center is Lord Vishnu. So there, and in Varnashrama society, people are performing pious activities, Sukriti. That's why they're called Sukritinaha. Chaturvida bhajante mam, janaha Sukritino Arjuna. Sukritinaha means people in Varnashrama society who are doing pious activities. Sukritinaha means they have pious credits. So such people, Sukritinaha, they can come to the shelter of the Supreme Lord, because in Varnashrama society, Lord Vishnu is worshipped. That they are Sukritinaha, like that. So without being Sukritinaha, just imagine if there is no Varnashrama society and there is no association of devotees also. What are the chances? Like you take in any place, not in India, let's say some other country. And what are the chances that when they have some, they'll approach Lord Vishnu to worship? They won't even know, because it's not a Varnashrama society. You understand? That's why Sukriti Naha is said. If you have Sukriti, then you will come to offer your karma to the Lord. It happens naturally in a Varnashrama society. And that is why Varnashrama is important. It is for the whole world, for everybody, regardless of whether you're a devotee or not. Being in Varnashrama society does not mean you're a pure devotee. No. But Varnashrama society means naturally Vishnu will be in the center. And such a society, then people won't go down to hell. They won't go down to hell. They can live comfortably here, and also they can go to Vaikuntha at the end. If they practice this dharma properly, they can get liberation, mukti. They can go to Vaikuntha for an eternal life in opulence and happiness. They can live there. But if they want bhakti, when will it come? Even in that Varnashrama society, when they get the association of a pure devotee there. If a pure devotee comes there, then by that association, by that mercy, like Narad Muni in previous life. Yes. Like Narad Muni in his previous life. The Bhakti Vedantis came. By that, then he'll get. Otherwise, no. Otherwise, no. So that's why here you should understand this line properly. Without Sukriti or pious activities, no one can come to the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is approached by four kinds of pious men. But here we see that Nanda Mahārāja and Yaśodā surpassed all of them. Nanda Mahārāja and Yaśodā Mai are eternal associates of the Lord. But you also understand the purpose, why Parīkṣit Mahārāja is asking, to inspire the listeners. So that's why this is a way of asking to inspire the listeners to do some sadhana. So therefore, what kind of pious activities did they perform in their past lives? by which they achieve such a stage of perfection. Like that. Okay, so the rest I think we just discussed. And then how Yaśodā Mai, she's so, her position is even higher than Nanda Mahārāja's, because Krishna was with Yaśodā Mai all the time. The next one is also similar, but it's okay. We can keep it for tomorrow, no problem, because it's almost time and we have to read Bhagavad Gita also. I will read if there is commentary. Let me see. Quickly, I'll read. This one. Seeing how Yaśoda's love did not diminish in the least, even after hearing about and seeing the Lord's powers, and understanding that Yaśoda and Nanda's love far surpassed that of the karmis and even the normal devotees. Because normal devotees, what are they seeing? When they see Krishna, they see their worshipable deity form. They still see him as Bhagavan, as the Supreme Lord. But Nanda Mahārāja and Yaśodā Mai are seeing only as their son. They are not even seeing Krishna as Bhagavan. So that is why they are far superior to even normal devotees. Parīkṣit became greatly astonished and inquired from Śukadeva Gosvāmī. King Parīkṣit asked, what pious activities, śreya mahodayam, Nanda must have performed to get such great results? Parīkṣit refers to Yaśodā as mahā-bhāgā, most fortunate, because her pious activities were even more than Nanda Mahārāja. Okay. So now let us read Bhagavad Gita. Yesterday we were reading about Tamoguna. So far we read about Satvaguna. What is the influence of Satvaguna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna? Yes. So quickly, what are the qualities of Satvaguna? Nirmalatvam means that it's pure. Prakashakam means illuminating. Anamayam means sinless. Sukha Sangena means happiness, material happiness. Jnana Sangena means knowledge. So these are the qualities you'll find in a person who is influenced by Satvaguna. Relatively pure, illuminating, that means understanding things as they are, sinless, and Sukha and Jnana, happiness and knowledge. What about in Rajoguna? Rajo, Ragatmakam. Ragatmakam means intense attachment, longing. Rajoguna. And then Trishna, same thing. Trishna means thirst, like things which are impossible. You cannot achieve, but still you hanker for that, hankering. Tan nibadhnati. By this, they are bound to karma. Because of such hankering for results, they are workaholics. They are working, attached to karma. Then Tamoguna, Ajnana Jam Vidhi. It's born of ignorance, Ajnana. And what are the symptoms of one who is in Tamoguna? Mohanam means he is in delusion. He doesn't see things as they are. In fact, he sees it the opposite way, completely opposite. You say it is black and he will hear it as white. Mohanam sarvadehinam. And then Pramada, Alasya, and Nidra are the symptoms of the mode of ignorance. Srila Prabhupada said, remember Nidra, maximum you need 6 hours. He will sleep, one in ignorance will sleep at least 10 to 12 hours every day. Then Pramada. Pramada means, Pramada means not doing what you're supposed to do at that sometime. Prabhupada says madness. Madness. Alasya means laziness. In this way, the soul is bound. Then today's verse. Yeah, we didn't read 9, right? We only read Tamoguna yesterday. Or, right? Did we read Tamoguna only yesterday?
Yes, Mataji.
We didn't read 9, right, Mataji?
No, just the characteristics of a person in Tamoguna.
Tamoguna, okay. So today's is text 9. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati Rajaha karmani bharata jnanam avritya tu tamaha pramade sanjayatyuta. So all three are said now. So you are comparing. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati. So when you are covered by sattva guna, happiness is born. Rajaha karmani bharata. Then from rajoguna, karma, you're working. When there is rajoguna, it inspires you to work. Jnanam avritya tu tamaha. And what does ignorance do? It covers your knowledge. You're in ignorance, tamaha. Pramade sanjayatyuta. And what comes when your knowledge is covered by tamoguna? Tamoguna produces pramada. Pramada means madness, or it's like dangerous actually, pramada, right? So, O son of Bharata, the mode of goodness conditions one to happiness. Passion conditions one to karma or fruitive action. Ignorance covering one's knowledge binds one to madness. So now all three are said. Sattva guna conditions one to happiness. That means you want to continue that happiness, right? So you become attached to that. And because of that attachment to that happiness, material happiness, you won't get liberation. You just have to be here only. Goodness conditions one to happiness. Passion conditions one to karma, fruitive work for result you're working. And ignorance conditions one to madness, binds one to madness, because the knowledge is covered. Purport. A person in the mode of goodness is satisfied by his work or intellectual pursuit, just as a philosopher, scientist, or educator may be engaged in a particular field of knowledge and may be satisfied in that way, right? You know, some examples can be, you will see some people in professional world also, you know, they've been like nurses in the hospital sometimes, or any type of profession, you know, like they've been doing it for the past 25 years, 26 years, every day, same job, they're working, and, you know, same place. And, you know, they're regulated. It's not about, you know, promotion and going higher and improving standard of life. They just become attached. Attached means they're satisfied with that work. And they just keep doing it year after year after year, decade after decade. Same work they're doing. So they become conditioned to happiness. They're satisfied. This is also a quality of the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, you won't see hankering. You're satisfied with whatever you have. And there is happiness there. But that happiness, that satisfaction conditions you. You don't want to change that situation. They don't want to change that situation. They become conditioned to that. Material, on a material level, material platform. Certainly it is better than passion and ignorance, no doubt. But you cannot stay there. It won't allow you to stay, because in the material world, it's always a mix. As soon as you come in touch one way or the other, because that is not within your hands. You know, somebody in the mode of passion can just come by, visit you, and just tell you about all these things, you know. And then person in Sattva-guna will start thinking, oh, really? So Rajoguna will start acting on him. So it is not, relatively speaking, between Tamoguna, Rajoguna, and Sattva-guna, Sattva-guna is better. But you cannot say that I will just stay here happily ever after, because it won't happen. After all, it is the material world. So remaining in Sattva-guna and planning to just remain in Sattva-guna all the time is also not safe. You must transcend even Sattva-guna. Therefore, what should we do? You should transcendentalize by taking to bhakti. Don't just be satisfied being in Sattva-guna. That is the message. But a person in the mode of goodness is satisfied by his work or intellectual pursuit, just as a philosopher, scientist, or educator may be engaged in a particular field of knowledge and may be satisfied in that way. A man in the mode of passion may be engaged in fruitive activity. He owns as much as he can and spends for good causes. So passion means he wants more and more and more. That's the thing. So even at first he'll make a goal. If I have this much, then, for the rest of my life, I can live peacefully. But after he gets that much, then he will feel, no, but now times have changed and cost of living has increased. This is not sufficient. Now I need more. For him, it is never enough. No matter how much he will earn, he will always have, he's working. And even though he earns so much, after earning, he doesn't enjoy it properly. Because as soon as he gets it flickering for a short time, he may feel happy that he got that. But then now he wants to invest it in other ways and multiply it, make it more and more. So all his life is spent in trying to expand and get more and work hard, and he doesn't even get a chance to enjoy it. This is Rajoguna. Rajoguna is hankering, never satisfied. How much ever you have, I want more and more. Reinvest it and do this and do that and expand it. Rajoguna. He owns as much as he can and spends for good causes. And also, for earning, he has to work. So you will see he's working. So he'll have these goals and then he will just keep working all the time. Rajoguna. And he will spend. Whatever he gets, he will spend. Most of the time, even he won't spend it. He will be accumulating everything. And then he will get a son who is in the mode of ignorance and he'll just waste it all. Like this person worked so hard to earn it, and whoever he earned it for, the children, they don't spend it. They don't take responsibility for that money. They'll just waste it all. Sometimes he tries to open hospitals, give to charity institutions, etc. These are signs of one in the mode of passion. Yes. So he will earn and then he will give in charity to people, and like he's a, like a big donor and he's giving charities like that. Work hard, earn like that. This is Rajoguna. And the mode of ignorance covers knowledge. In the mode of ignorance, whatever one does is good, neither for him nor for anyone. So if you are in the mode of ignorance, then whatever you do, it's not good for you, it's not good for anyone. Okay? So, Sattva Guna, one who is in Sattva Guna, he will be Sattvic. And he will get material things by doing what is to be done at that time. You understand, right? Regulated. And by that, he will get some results. And he becomes happy by that. And he thinks this is good. But actually, he cannot stay there. That's the point. That material happiness is also not permanent happiness in Sattva Guna. Then, Rajoguna person, he's bound to Kamya karma. Kamya means fruitive results. So he will work for fruitive results. So he doesn't even get to enjoy what he's working for. It's like he's running and running, right? To earn something and to save more and more and more. And while running, he'll die. He'll drop down and die. That's the position of a Rajoguna person. Tamoguna person, he will be sleeping all the time, postponing work. And this will end in pramada. Pramada means not being attentive. He won't do whatever is to be done at a particular time. And because of that, he will end up in many problems. So one example is given that the child goes to school and is supposed to study for his exams and whatever lessons are given, and he keeps postponing his studies. He won't do the projects, he won't do his homework, and finally when the exams come, he fails. Then he's made to sit in the same classroom. And he fails second time, third time, and now he's sitting with all these small kids who are much younger than him, and he feels ashamed to sit in class with those younger kids. He'll just quit school. And now he's old, but he doesn't have educational qualifications, so he's forced to work as, like a laborer type of job because he has no qualification. Why all this happened? Because of his procrastination, postponing things, not doing. Why all this happened? Because of the influence of tamoguna. Like this, many examples can be given. In your workplace, you are given some assignments by your superior, and you keep postponing, and then finally you're fired from the job. So this is pramada. Pramada means you end up in a dangerous situation because of the mode of ignorance. When you're influenced by the mode of ignorance, then laziness, procrastination, sleep, and that will put you in a dangerous situation. So we'll stop there today. Next Thursday, coming Thursday, is Narsingha Chaturdasi. So today is Saturday. I have a class in ISKCON Philadelphia in the morning. And again, I have a class at 11 o'clock in Bhakti Sangha. But I was thinking, for us here, we won't do our regular Chaitanya Charitamrita and Bhagavatam classes that day and the night before. So for you in the night, I'm doing Chaitanya Charitamrita. Instead of that, I was thinking, I'll just read the 7th canto. Narsingha Leela is 10 chapters. So simply reading the translations, just reading. So we will do it in 2 sessions. This is what I'm thinking as of now. So during Chaitanya Charitamrita session, the night before Narsingha Chaturdasi, so this will be on the 29th for you, evening, I will read 5 chapters. And I don't know how long that will take, whatever time it takes. Okay, so, and then the next day also, I'm thinking I'll start early, not at 4. I mean, for you 6:30, na? It'll be even earlier than that. Reason is, at 7:50, class starts in ISKCON Philadelphia. So before that, I want to finish the remaining 5 chapters, just reading the translations. Just meditation on Lord Nrsimhadev's pastimes and Prahlad Mahārāja's instructions. So that will be actually my Nrsimha Chaturdasi day. So I'll start around maybe 1:30 or something in the afternoon, I'm thinking. So that will be probably like 4 in the morning for you. So I'm not expecting that, if you can come, if you can join, it's fine. If not, also it's okay. But that's the only time I'll be able to do it that day because of the other 2 classes. So that's the plan as of now. On that day, we won't have Chaitanya Charitamrita and Bhagavatam, regular Bhagavatam reading. Instead, we will read 7th canto, Lord Nrsimhadev's. No explanation. I'll just read. Okay. Thank you very much. So we will end here. Granthraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnavavrinda ki jai. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.